Hello and welcome back. And we have a new guest in Epic. Welcome, Celine.
Hi, I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm very happy to have you here. So, today we will watch Anton Gantz versus Frank, I believe from your local community, right?
Yeah, Frank is actually a very good friend of mine. I know him in real life. I did see him often until he moved away somewhere far away for us Dutchies standards. It's actually not that far away, but for us it's quite far. But yeah, I used to see him a lot and I know him quite well. So that's basically also why I'm here. So it's good for us to commentate.
Yeah. Supporter of Frank and also a full English breakfast expert.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this matchup? We don't know which the players are playing, but do you have any idea what they will bring?
I actually did some research, so I kind of know what is going to happen. So it's not completely fair, but if I would have
I
made
can
a
guess
prediction
then.
here,
If you
yeah,
already
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I,
you
I
do the
will.
prediction.
I will predict Frank will play elves just because it's not banned in this one. Um, and from Anton's side, I don't really know. I think it's not an easy matchup for Prison O to play against Elf because Elves have all the mana to play for the Prison element, and the Nishoba can actually be quite answered by enough mana, just a Mastercore. So, but how is the Elves versus the full English breakfast?
Yeah, Frank told me actually that his thoughts about this choice is that he played a lot of Pring Prison against the Prison Oath. Excuse me, I think with Elves, and that he didn't actually lost any games so far. So he feels pretty confident taking the Elves against the deck. And the Foolish Breakfast is actually also quite an okay matchup. So I think with the bannings here, that Elves will be the best pick. And
Yeah,
from Anton, I would guess that he would go for the prison oath, but I don't think he wants to risk against going for prison against prison. So that's also something to keep in mind. So I think else against full English breakfast would also be my choice.
with that in mind, I think it's a bit surprising that Anton didn't choose to ban Elves and choose to ban Pitrack instead. But
Yep, that's true, but the pit rack is a very difficult matchup for the combo decks. They both need their graveyards, and the pit rack with the four graveyard removal in the sideboards is very hard to circumvent. So I think he made his choice based on that aspect of the deck.
yeah, I think if it doesn't ban the pit wreck, then basically Anton has decided to play prison out, and then Frank will get his choice of what prison deck he will bring to
Yep,
play against the
exactly.
prison out. Yeah. So I guess we can move on to the decks from each player. So Anton is playing full English breakfast, and I guess that makes you happy.
Yes, it makes me very happy. I have actually taken a look at the deck. It's a very interesting list. To me, it's a very grindy list as well because of the two copies of both the walls, which is very interesting, and the Mesmeric Fiend. So he's going very wide when it comes to some sort of early mid game, a very grindy approach to the deck. It's with two squeeze and actually the intuitions as well as a tutor and the two unearth. So he's going all places with this deck. So it's very interesting to see. So I think he built this to have a matchup against like every deck. So that's very interesting to me.
Do you think that's advantage or disadvantage compared to a more stock list when facing elves?
Um, I think against elves it is a disadvantage mostly because you actually want to be faster than elves because
Mm.
elves will definitely win at some point, and you just need a very explosive start against the elves. But on the other hand, I think the mesmeric fiends are again very good against to take out the key pieces and slow the elves deck down. So that's something that's going for him. But I think the deck overall is a bit too slow to face the elves deck of Frank. What do you think?
Interesting. I think we need to move on to the next list, to Frank's list, and have a look at his elf list. So I'm no elf expert. The only thing I noted here is that he doesn't play the full set of tangle wires. The rest looks pretty stuck to me. I also noticed he has some interesting sideboard options, but we can talk about that between the games. Do you have any comments on this list, Celine?
No, it looks pretty stock to me in regards to what Frank has made the deck in this format. So I
Mm.
don't see any unusual things. So
Mm.
yeah, so that's it for me.
Yeah. Um, Maybe we'll see if the players are ready. Yeah.
All
So
right, they are.
6 cards for both players, it seems.
Oof. Okay,
And no turn one play for Frank.
that's very unusual. But he might have taken, maybe has got a pretty slow hand. Maybe get a hand with two survivals because you can expect a turn one couple therapy here. Also, that wouldn't work as well. So, but still,
Yeah. Actually, I guess he has a quite explosive turn two then. And
all right.
um, actually, when I'm facing Cable Therapy decks, I'm quite reluctant to keep hands
Yeah,
with multiple of the same cards.
yeah, that's true. And maybe he just went to for a more cuter value hand, maybe.
Yeah. So a fetch land here, and I have a feeling we will see a survival, but no, a priest. Okay,
Ooh. Okay.
I guess. Okay, so
It's
fetching a mountain.
yeah. So it indicates that he's just slowly setting up here, and I think I guess I hope for Anton that he's having a very fast start here.
Yeah,
It's
I think the mountain kind of indicates he has a way to get anger in graveyard in
yep,
for that to
exactly.
be a relevant play, which
Yeah.
again signals that he has a survival here.
Yeah, and this is actually a very perfect start for Anton. He has both the mana elf and the turn 2 survival, so he can actually survival right now. And he
Yeah,
has the 2 blue mana, which is very difficult with the mana base of this deck, but he has it all. So I'm
yeah,
very curious about the next turn.
yeah. Okay. So both have
Ooh,
uh,
that's
two
very good.
lands, an elf, and a survival. So it's mostly
Yeah,
like a mirror match.
but if Anton has both a creature and another land on hand, he basically wins next turn.
Yeah, he
So
can get.
this is yeah, because he had the Pelagon on hand, so he doesn't need an extra survival activation to get it in the graveyard. So he needs to find a fraud shapeshifter here and has another creature on hand.
Yeah, so shapeshift is basically freer because he can tap 3 lands to play it and then untap as
Exactly.
it as a palinchron when it enters the battlefield. So yeah,
Maybe he doesn't even need a third land. Let's see. He has the elf. The elf doesn't untap, so he says, yeah, he's counting himself as well. I'm counting with him. Oh,
Hmm.
okay, okay, very interesting. Uh, he's
Setting
going
up a
for
mind twist.
yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
I'm
I guess that could also basically win, but maybe for less mana.
well. I tried this before, And in my experience, the elf deck is very quickly in regaining cards, especially if they get crazy with the acolyte.
He does have the third land at least.
Yes, I think Anton doesn't have another creature on hand because otherwise he wouldn't really go for this line, I guess. Oh wow, he does. This is interesting. Okay, so he should just go for it now, right? Maybe I think he drew. He drew
Yeah,
the forward shapeshifter. I think that has to be the case here,
yeah,
because
I
otherwise
agree.
he would have gone for it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing Frank can do really. He's just sitting there, and yeah, Anton just showing him the devourer. Yep, and scooping it up. So basically, for those who are new to the deck, maybe you want to explain it actually.
Well, so the combo is basically Phyrexian Devourer can add counters to the shapeshifter, and the the has a
The
so
Troskelion is the second piece.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The processor has a trigger that will sacrifice itself, but you can just respond to it to get as many counters as you like. Then you can change the shapeshifter into a Triskelion, which will then have a lot of counter it and just shoot Frank for lethal. So that's basically it. So
Yeah, there you have it. That's exactly how it works. So was
that was a layman's term. You, as a judge, most likely can play it more detailed than I am.
no,
But
no,
that,
it was perfect. It was perfectly explained. So, but it's very difficult interaction, and players might not know it because Frank saw it and just scooped it up.
yeah,
Um, I
he know the
actually
drill.
have some inside information about what Frank is gonna do in this matchup. So should I say this beforehand and you go on
Yeah,
and talk about what Anton maybe will do? Because I know from Frank that he will put in 4 Naturalize, 2
yeah,
Null Rods, and 2 Elvish Champions. And he will take out a Well-Wisher, 3 Tangle Wires, 1 Color of the Claw, 1 Acolyte, 1 Kamal, and 1 Quirion Ranger. So the Elvish Champions are, of course, to battle the Engineer Plagues. The
yeah,
Null Rods are very good against the list of Anton, because Anton does only play the Triskelion Devourer list in the list, and no Akoma and no Phage. So the Null Rod is very strong against him. And Naturalize, of course, speak for itself. So
so that also implies that the Volrod shapeshifter is an artifact creature, while the Devourer is in the graveyard. Is that
yes,
correct?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's correct. Yes.
yeah. So the combo doesn't work anymore.
Nope.
So then I guess Anton will be left beating with a Hypnox or something if that comes into play.
I think so. I think so. Yes, because he has a hard time getting rid of an artifact. Um,
Mm.
there are
Yeah.
some ways, though. He has the monkeys and the naturalizes.
So from just looking at the list, I would guess I like the Engineered Plague, I like Smother, I like Naturalize, and I like Rare for Revelations, and I guess also the Monk Realist is relevant here. But I'm not sure how I want to fit those cards in, or yeah,
Yes, it's very difficult. Uh, I would guess that the Spirit Guide is an easy cut here because both decks slow down.
yeah.
So
Wall of Blossoms, maybe.
yeah,
Uh,
probably
yeah,
maybe even a one Wall of Roots,
yeah,
because yeah, you don't need those cards are especially there for like the very aggro matchups.
yeah.
And since well the elves that can attack, but when they do, they usually win. So you don't need them for the early defense.
Do you need the white guy that returns an enchantment to battle Frank's naturalizers, or will you
I
cut it
think
here?
he will leave them in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe remove one squee as well, because there's no graveyard removal really. So that
Yeah.
also opens up a slot. So I think,
Yeah, and also because Frank will combat the survival, facing the survival itself, and not the taking the graveyard. So then it makes more sense to cut the squeed, and because they might get stuck in hand
yes,
if the
exactly.
national
Yeah,
gets taken out.
very true. All right, here we go.
So this is what Frank's want to start with.
Yes, that's
Turn one storm.
looks a lot better than last turn. But Anton was also really going for it, so it's also a very good start.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, Frank was starting last game as well,
Mm.
so but he has the tempo advantage here.
Yes, the die roll is actually very important because both decks are about the turn 4 win deck. So the one with the who wins the die roll or can start the game, of course, is also the same. Has a big advantage over the other.
Hmm. So we see Velvet Symbiote here. Um, Not sure what will be my favorite one mana guy in this
Naturalize.
position.
Oh, ooh, okay. So Frank
So
actually hoped that the second game would be a cripple fight where both decks just um, went at each other, ripping cards from the hand, destroying each other as survivals. But this actually looks like the opposite of it, and both decks just trying to go crazy, both with a survival in play. So this is the tension is very big right now.
yeah, like we are 10 minutes into the match, and we are almost like this game can also be ended quite
Yes,
soon.
this game can be over in like 2 turns.
Yeah. So what does he do to fair? He discards the birds, and
So it implies he has at least one other land in hand, I guess.
yeah.
And I think there's 1 or 2 cards more there. But
Are you getting a squee here? Are we getting a
ooh,
Hypnox again?
hmm.
Interesting.
The hitbox is very good, but Frank having a survival makes it very hard because every creature that he draws is basically any
So,
card from the deck. So I'm not
so
sure how good the hitbox actually is.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. If he has the natural eyes here, the Hypnox will
Yeah,
be
it's
quite bad.
really rough. Yeah, now it's just
Yeah,
stuck in hand, so it doesn't do anything right now.
yeah, yeah.
That is rough, super rough. Yeah,
And now we much rather have the bird that he just pitched to the
yeah,
survivor.
exactly. I just hope he has the naturalize as well. Both decks are just get back to square one.
Or a Ray of Revelation in case of
Also,
Anton.
yeah, ooh, that would be a very good one. So you can actually use it again.
Oh, he doesn't have anything.
Anything? Well, you can maybe just wait. Maybe he wants to wait, but I'm not really sure why he would do that. I think Anton is too good a player to slow roll this hard.
Yeah. A free tutor is still a free tutor, and you don't want to give
Yep,
your opponent that
exactly,
one. Yep.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Hypnox could also be a Hail Mary, like he had to go for it and just hope that Frank didn't have the Naturalize, maybe.
Yeah.
Especially with a deck like Full English Breakfast, you sometimes just have to go for it. It can be quite fragile, regards to the combo, and you don't really do anything else because if your survival gets taken out, you are left with a few 1/1s, and you really don't do anything else. While the Elf deck can actually quite
Yeah.
recover quite quickly, so that's a big difference between those two decks.
Yeah. Both are survival decks, but the Elf deck has a much better backup plan than just playing a tribal deck with
Exactly.
lords
Yes.
and attacking.
Yep, yep. Well, it's not very impressive if you just go in with two mesmeric fiends. I mean, I have had games where my elves did some pretty good work, but against another deck that plays even more 1/1s, it's not the best strategy. And now Frank actually goes for the survival for the the squeeze. So he's getting a lot of value right now.
And an angering graveyard as well.
Also, yep. And with the
Maybe even has a fetch down here for no, it didn't.
No, but with both the Craven Ranger and the Wirewood Symbiote, this is just so much mana. And if he finds a priest, this can totally get out of hand like really quickly right now.
Yeah, and that's the Granger to get everything haste for next turn.
Yep. So it takes the mountain from the deck and puts it in the battlefield. I think. Yeah. Right in the battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And Anton clearly doesn't have any enchantment removal. And
No,
he doesn't have the plague either, so
no, and he's just putting his hand on the table and putting his hands in his lap like signaling, I don't have anything. You just go ahead and
yeah. Yeah, I wonder what's left in Anton's hand because it has to be something.
all
Okay.
right, okay.
Yeah,
So he
that
can.
was
Yep, this is interesting. Probably has find 3 survivals here, I guess. Otherwise, there's no way he's getting back from this. But I
yeah,
think the damage is already done here. Because
yeah.
Frank can do so much right here.
Yeah. I think Frank can kill him next turn if he has
He
like
gets the Squeeback.
a
He has
Squeeback and a
the
priest with
Ranger.
haste, and
So that's yeah. So that's already 4 mana, like at least times 3 or so. He can make maybe 12 mana here, and
and
has enough mana to find a Kamal. But he boarded the Kamal out. So
yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the way he
Oh,
wants to go.
okay.
Oh, that's okay. Very interesting. I really
But
like this one actually. I really like this one.
yeah, Frank will still get the one survival activation because he will untap the land elf on Anton's turn
Um,
with the
he can
yeah,
bounce it actually, right? He can bounce at least 1 elf here with the
yeah,
insect.
and untap the other to tutor for something.
Yes, right.
Well, Frank hoped for a grindy one, so maybe he gets what he wanted.
Yep. Well, it really makes it very difficult here, but Frank can just survive for a lord.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure what will happen right here.
yeah.
And we cannot hear the players, but I'm pretty sure it will be named elves.
Interesting. He didn't. He didn't use the survival.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
He has echo for the Granger here.
Right. Yep. So that's something Frank shoots. Nope.
He
Okay. All right. He just puts it in the graveyard. He likes to use his mana
okay.
for something else.
He could. Did he board out the Call of the Claw? Or he could get a color here
Um,
and get
he
okay.
boarded it out, so I think he just wants to pile on a lot of Elvish champions. Just find
Yeah.
them and put more on the battlefield, or maybe go from here. So he's now protected from the plague, so he can just go on
Yeah.
what he was doing just a minute ago.
Yeah. I
But it's
was
just
just considering the Jens Jäger special. Get a Call of the Claw and a bear for free.
yep.
That's another line that he could have taken if he had it in the deck. But yeah.
Frank putting the die on his deck because there's a lot of stuff going on in all the phases of his turn.
Hypnox costs
11.
11. Okay.
11, yeah. It's probably
Still
the
5 more
most.
mana.
Well, you would be surprised how often the deck can actually hardcast things like a Chroma. And I mean, Fates Untouchable is actually just 6 mana. So it's actually quite doable. But Hypnox is really 2 steps further. So
yeah.
it's the wrong creature to have in hand.
Yeah. But Ant can also reset stuff if you just smother the Lord at the timely
Yes. So I'm sure that is
point of the game.
something Frank is thinking about, and maybe that is a reason to take another Elvis champion here, because he needs
Yeah.
to. Otherwise, his house of cards will like tumble very quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just he needs more security. But we will see what he will get.
Yeah. Frank is not pressured here, so
No, not at all. So
he
he
can
can
take his
take his
time.
time. Yeah, exactly.
So one deck draws a card a turn, the other deck draws a card a turn, and tutters once a turn. So,
Yep. So from looking from that perspective, Frank is really in the driver's seat here. And there we go. So this is the full board. So he's counting his mana.
4 mana. So that's enough to get another Lord into play if he needs to.
Yeah.
Or
So
wants
that's
to.
one activation of the Korean Ranger.
Yeah.
Returning the forest.
He has a forest and one unknown card in his hand, I believe.
Yes, I think so. Did he have 2 cards at this point?
He burns the forest at least, so
Okay.
that's
Exactly.
one of the cards, and the other one is unknown to me at least, or to us. Yeah, of course the symbiote can bounce to get another creature into hand.
So he's actually counting his mana because he knows he has one activation of the insect as well.
He has tons of mana here, so yeah, there will be some devastating plays from Frank now, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
I just don't know what exactly. But
yeah, I don't know what too, because there's no Kamal. So he needs something of a mana sink to put everything in, but I'm sure there's plenty.
Hermit Root, maybe?
Right, yeah. So he will go for just the beatdown plan maybe, but it will take a few turns. But there's no rush. And
Maybe
you're right.
Maybe he can get 2 of them.
Yes.
That will make the scrolls 3/3s and 8 of them, so that's 24 damage.
That is quite a lot of. Look at that! Frank actually got the got his new squirrel tokens because last time he made some. He used very ugly new sap rolling tokens, which looked horrible. But he took the really cute ones this time.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to the sideboard again, but thank you, Niels, for joining, because you will be leaving us now.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here with us. It was a pleasure to commentate with you, and a pleasure to listen to you in the other matches. So thank you for that.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And there, I think I go to the stream as well. Hello, Celine. Long time
Hi,
no see.
Gordon. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
So glad that you could join us for this, both knowing Frank's list and play style in and out, and then Feb, of course, one of the big
yes,
big
I
names
find
of
myself in
Feb.
a very, very luxurious position here, so that's very true.
Yeah, it felt like I can jump in now, even though I'm tired, because I don't even need to say something. You will just.
I will do the talking for you, and you just be sitting there and being pretty.
That seems good.
For all the watchers, yeah, for the people looking.
I do thanks for that, because yeah, I do not know where I am today. But you had Frank's sideboard list. Do you think he changes anything?
Oof. I don't really think he will, because I think he has a very good aggro plan. He's not really missing the one-offs that he's taken out. I don't think he saw anything weird coming from Anton's deck.
Yep.
No surprises there really from his sideboard, so I don't think that he feels the need to change really anything. Maybe one card, but I'm not really sure what it would be.
Yeah, and I listened in earlier here, but that seems like I don't see any reason to change here either. And I
No,
can
not
actually
really.
also see the players. They are shuffling up, getting ready
Perfect.
for the final game. So who will take it down? Your glorious Feb or your glorious Frank?
That's a really hard choice here you're giving me.
But you need to choose.
And both are very, very accomplished player. But I have to go with Frank here. I cannot leave my buddy. I have to choose him.
He will be mad IRL otherwise.
Yes.
Next
And he
meeting.
actually lives close enough to give me a hard time. So
That seems like a good choice then. So I'm gonna go with fellow countryman Anton Glans then.
all right.
Even
And I
though
also feel we have some rivalry in the booth here then as well,
Yeah.
Gordon. Oof.
exactly, we have fellow countrymen, and Anton, you could say he's a neighbor because he's a Swede, but as he said, because we talked about a tournament that we both want to go to in a couple of weeks here in Sweden, where he said, I can go to like Egypt faster than that.
Oh, wow.
Because he lives there. Way
really
up
up
there.
there.
So it's actually true. Like, it's faster for me to go to London than go to Anton.
Yeah. As I mentioned, like everything in the Netherlands is close.
Yeah, exactly. All the countries and all the cities in the Netherlands.
Everything. Yeah, I sometimes like when we travel 2 hours that way, they speak German. When we travel 2 hours that way, they speak French. And this way English, and that way they speak Norwegian. Or it's super weird. But it also, changed your perspective. Like I told you that Frank moved away, and he's very far away now. But it's actually just 3 hours, so anyone else would laugh about it. But for us, it's like a really long drive.
Yeah, the other side of the country where my girlfriend's from is like 5 hours drive. Then we come to the other side of the country. So 3
exactly.
hours. Yeah, that's pretty okay.
That's very doable. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's different here.
It's a matter of perspective, Gordon.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the drive up to Anton. I don't think it's 10 hours, but like, it's not close. Let's say it that way. So he's maybe not my neighbor, but he helps me with
There's
this.
not so many people in Norway, in Sweden, right? So
No, we're around 10 million.
right, okay. So
Isn't that kind of the same as the Netherlands?
yeah, I think we're at 16 or something, maybe 17
shit.
already. Yeah, it's like really dense. We almost just
Yeah, you have no countryside.
no, almost not. No,
I've road tripped in the Netherlands a couple of times, and like, you go from one city to the other without leaving suburbs.
True. Yeah, exactly. And they grow together.
Yep,
At this point.
it's very cool. But see, here we have the game. We have a survival on one side, but we have a lot of mana on the other, and the natural ice.
Like this is a very good start for Frank. That's a lot of mana. But that's good when you can run the Gaia's Cradle. It's one of the big upsides.
Pretty powerful card.
Yeah, and I've had the question that why can you not play it in Full English Breakfast? And that's actually because although it's a survival deck, you actually don't have that many creatures in play at one time. So and it also would be really hard on the mana base because you need to make 3 colors.
The mana base in Feb is horrible.
It's very horrible, yeah, and you're really down to just playing a lot of pain lands. So you're making yourself very vulnerable to Sly, which is a big part of the metagame. So it can also be a meta call to not take Full English Breakfast.
Yeah, like if you have a lot of Sly decks, that's a big problem for Feb, if I've understood correctly. Both
Yes.
Price of Progress, Wasteland.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's also why
And
some
damage.
players prefer to play a lot of walls to mitigate that problem.
Null Rod. That's the
Yep.
win con going, but we have an intuition at least for Anton to.
Yeah, and I'm curious what he will take. Will he answer the null rod? Will he go for a survival and see if he
Plague?
can get an answer through the survival? Or will he go for the plague here?
As Frank doesn't have his survival,
No,
so he can't go
does
and
not.
get the champion. Therefore, I was looking for Plague, but this matchup is way above my pay grade.
Yeah, this is really difficult because I was also thinking about like 3 options are very appealing,
Yeah,
but
and
it looks like Anton wants to go for the survival and find another creature that can deal with the null rod from the survival.
yeah, he wants to go for the win.
Yes, and he has to. He has to be fast and explosive. So this is one extra step because he has to survival and then go to find a way to fix the null rod and then combo off. But I think he feels the pressure as well and don't want to play the long game here.
Yeah, but as Nullrod does kill his like fast win con, that's of course okay. He already had it.
He had it on hand. No worries there. Valerio is asking if Anton brewed any Gaia's blessings in Vuling's breakfast, but I don't think so.
Oh, I did not Nullrod.
Oof! Oh, that's the second one.
Yeah,
But
did
Anton still has the survival, so I don't think he feels too pressured by it right now.
No, but how many monkeys did he have in his deck to take care of
I think it's
Nullrod?
just the one.
Yeah.
There should be one in the sideboard, and I don't think he plays one in the main deck. So that's just the one. So he cannot really survival for something else because the other ones are spells.
Yeah, exactly. But let's see. Like, this is the fun thing about Feb and why people love it. It's just a big puzzle.
Yes, it's a big puzzle.
Me, I'm not a big fan, but that's because I'm not a fan of the card survival. Like, recurring tutor effects is a bit boring in a game where you should just draw the top card. But that's just my feeling, not anything to do with the game, Premodern, and so on.
I'm of course very biased, but survival also puts a really big requirement on your deck because you really need to play like 24 creatures, which is quite big. You have to at some point you just need to stuff creatures in there that aren't really good, but you have to meet that quota for the survival. So it has its downsides, but I agree with you that it's very powerful.
It is absolutely because it's.
I'm curious what he's planning here. It looks like he wants to go for the combo, but there is the null rod, of course.
By the way, because it really looks like Anton has a plan. He's playing lightning fast, like he knows what he's doing.
He's not thinking anymore. He's just searching and shuffling. So I agree. He has a plan.
But I can't say what it is.
I'm curious as well, because I would have a hard time here. Think about what are the options that are left.
So if we ignore that for a while, then we check Frank here, who has only one card in hand and all the mana in the world. The morph there, is that the kill enchantment morph?
I didn't even pay attention to that card. I thought it was just a card in hand, but now you mention it. Is there anything
I don't know
else?
if that is play. Let's see. The Nantuko Vigilante?
Yeah.
Is that the name?
Yeah, that's the name. Yeah, it destroys an enchantment or artifact when it turns face up.
Yeah.
Or is it just enchantment? I'm
I
not
think
really
it's
sure actually.
I think it's but let's put it on
I think it's
screen.
both because the cost is like 4 to turn it up, so it's a lot of mana, but you get something for it in return.
Nantuko Vigilante here in a ugly frame, but I forgot
Yep.
to fix the card viewer before stream start, I realized. But artifact enchantment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also kind of fun that it's 4 mana 3/2, but then it doesn't do it. Then it's just a 4 mana 3/2, because it's only when you pay 5 mana and turn it up.
Oh wow, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
actually just one. I thought it would be more expensive, but it's actually quite
It's still
doable.
5 mana.
It's still 5 mana. Yes.
Sure, in iterations, but yes.
And it's tutorable by survival, which is like the whole point, of course, why it is in the deck.
Yeah.
Something that Anton does not have the luxury right now of having those cards. He has run out of cards to deal with the no-rod at this point. If I'm correct, but I will have another gander as this deck list.
Yeah, but you can help me and say, is that a Bone Shredder? Yeah, it was. I'm guessing. 'cause
Yes,
it
that looks like a bone shredder.
died. So we have both a Squee and a Shapeshifter, and one unknown card. Who will take this down? I don't know. Like the board
It's
presence from
really
Frank
difficult,
is, but
Frank has just the one card in hand, so that's not a lot. And it looks like Anton is shooting down.
he still has
And he has
millions
the-
of mana, but
Yeah.
not billions now. Just millions.
And Anton can use the shapeshifter very efficiently here. He can let the Gitu Fireslinger not pay the echo cost, let it die, and then play the shapeshifter and get another use of that enter the battlefield ability. So that's quite strong play.
Yeah, but one thing of note is that there are 4 survivals in Anton's graveyard. One on the downside with intuition, like it is an instant speed demonic tutor for 3 mana, but it also strips you of 2 of them from the deck.
Yes.
A very,
that's why-
very real backside of the card. Like it's.
Look at that, Gordon. I think he hit the jackpot. With the Mesmeric Fiend. Look at that card that
Naturalize.
Frank put away. Is it a... Yeah, he has a Naturalize left, but look what
But
he put on top of there.
survival.
Exactly. I think Frank was slow rolling it and hoping... he was gambling for the
He wanted a
Naturalize,
creature.
I think.
Yeah, I think Frank wanted a creature before playing it so he can use it once to tutor.
Yes. I think that's and that cost him, but it's always a gamble because the Full English Breakfast can attack you from different fronts, and so you have to make a choice to keep it in hand and protect it, or put it in play and protect it from something else.
Yeah. It was not GG playing it just because of that. He could just play it and not use it. That was the whole thing. Oh,
exactly.
he
Oh,
top
but
decks one. Still no
that's-
creature
wow.
though. But now he decides to play around
Yes,
discard
exactly.
instead. So now which usually is wrong because now one discard has been used. So there should be
Yes.
more naturalizes than discard.
Yes, you should.
So keep to the same plan, playing around.
But I think because there's also a lot of cabal therapies in the deck,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
actually
I
not
forgot those.
bad to just play it. But if I was Anton, I would not name survival at that point. if I had
No.
fabric free anyway, so it would be safe. But it looks like Funk is getting into some action right now with the anger and something else. Okay, he goes for the squee.
Yeah. Open Manual asks if the red card had Echo Cast. Yes, that's Gitu Fireslinger. It's Shock on a 2/2 for 3, but also with Echo. So he let it die and then played the Shapeshifter to make another one. But now
it
it
was
looks
not
bad.
paid. No, but yes, it was paid. Oh, right. So when the Shapeshifter wasn't paid, it was paid, right? Okay.
No, he let it die in upkeep and played the Shapeshifter to kill something else.
Ah, okay. So he just played the Shapeshifter, but he needs to pay the.
The Echo
cost
of
the
the
next-
Shapeshifter then. Was that forgotten? Because that's
it
a turn
it
ago.
looks like it. No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Let me check the chat. Was it paid?
It got surely paid. He paid it. He paid,
He paid it. All right. Okay. We
Okay.
will trust chat on this.
They are usually correct.
Yes.
Um,
But look at that, Gordon. The dice have come out for Frank.
Yeah.
It's usually a bad sign for the opponent.
yeah, does he have good tokens now? That's the big question.
Yes, he does. He has the very cute squirrels. I actually
Ooh.
voted in the Dutch Premodern app group that we have. I voted for these squirrels. Those are the most cute ones.
Good. But I do think Anton has the best squirrel because I have drawn it for him. But he only has one.
Yeah, that's.
So I need to draw
you
3
cannot
more.
top that.
It's ugly as hell, by the way, but
Well, it's a one of a kind, right? It's a collector's
Exactly.
item.
But the tables turned pretty quickly
Yep.
with that top decked survival.
And this is where the weakness of the Fielding's Breakfast deck comes to show, because once you run out of survivals or win conditions, the deck doesn't really do anything.
It's just a bunch of bad creatures.
It's just a bunch of 1/1s that don't do anything really. That's why I tried in my list to play the Dreadnought Stifle combination, and I was actually very happy with it to circumvent situations like this, and also have a good matchup against some of the aggro decks. And even if your survival gets picked out, you can just discard a super big 12/12 for your shapeshifter and just get in there. But Anton, he really needs to find something like a Hypnox or something to make his forward shapeshifter an 8/8 flying maybe, but even that is very small in comparison to all those Skrills and all those elves.
Yeah, I don't see him getting out of this. But overall, just a question, as you are the Febspert. Sorry, I said
Yes.
my humor today is not.
I really
okay.
like it. Yeah, I will remember that.
Is Feb a tier 1 deck in Premodern in 2022 as it was maybe 2020 or 2019?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think it's a solid tier 2, but I don't think it is a tier 1. Also because the format has shifted a bit to a really bit more competitive view on the format.
Yeah.
Decks have evolved a lot, and it's very meta dependent.
I am completely with you on that. And while I asked that question, the game Anton just said, nope.
Yeah,
not
as
anymore.
as we already saw it coming. So I have to beat you on this, Gordon. The Dutchies prevail once more.
Yeah, fuck the Duchess.
Oh, what's this?
No. So let's see if we can bring the players in here and have a talk, as this game we actually finished in time instead of Frank being such a slow player there, game 2
Yes.
or no, match 2.
It's just horrible.
Like I have no idea going to time with Pink Prison. Who even manages with that? So let's get them in here. Hello guys, how you doing?
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. I have so many lines I want to discuss.
Yeah,
Bring it,
Anton.
Anton. That's why I'm here.
Can
first
I
and
just-
foremost, congrats, Frank. I think you are safely placed now to actually advance to playoffs. So I think
Yeah, I
first,
believe
like,
so.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool games.
By the way, Anton, did you know that Intuition has a downside? It's not just instant speed demonic tutor, because you put 2 cards you want to draw later in the graveyard.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah. No. Okay.
No,
so
sorry.
I should probably have won the second game if I wasn't too fucking stupid. But that's what happened with this deck. Like, instead of getting the plagues, because my thought was, he only has 3 mana, he doesn't have a 4th land. I will buy some turn. If he has the Elder Champions in, okay, I will buy some turn at least. But he got the land there. But I should have just go get the survival and not played it that turn. Just have him his turn, and then the next turn, because I had a Palancron in hand also, so I had a setup. But I rushed it to go with a plague. So I think I could have won that had I been more like patient. Second game, okay, so the second fucking Null Rod with the Naturalize, and he has the Vigilante, but it's morphed. I figured he will board in Goblin Sharpshooter, because it's a good card. This might be a Birch Lore, and because he can't have 1 Naturalize, 2 Null Rods, and a fucking Vigilante on 10 cards. That's not possible. But he did. So I went for, I did not go for Auramancer, because I figured like I need a speed now, because he has all the mana in the world. Which take us to the next part. Okay, I've used my Octabo Orangutan. I can kill it with Bone Shredder, or then the Gideon Slinger, and then play my Shapeshifter to set up for the Orangutan. But I figure like, he's got so much going, and I'm at so low life. If we'll just attack him with 1/1s, I will die eventually. So I did not go for that line. And I do, the Devourer. So everyone who's watching, you should have a second combo in your fucking Feb deck. That's the thing. You die to Null Rod too hard, and the Cursed Totem with it, it's too susceptible.
So, Celine, do you have anything to add to that one? What's your take on that very specific thing from Anton? You should have a second.
I think it's totally right. Maybe you should add some more win cons in there as well. But it just the most important thing what Anton is trying to make, the most important point, is that Villainous Breakfast is such a difficult deck. You have to make so many decisions ahead of time, and sometimes your decision is completely correct, and it turns out completely bad. So, and sometimes it's the other way around. It's super difficult to think all those steps ahead. And Anton is an amazing player.
No, not really.
And still,
No, Anton is a really good player.
It's a really good. He's a really good player, but still, it's super hard to make all those choices ahead of time. So.
Yeah, I mean, there are some lines going on in your head. Kevin Costarina, I assume it's you. I did, of course, board in Naturalizes, but I fucked up and did not board in Monk Realist in game 2 when I needed it, because that's why I couldn't kill his survival. I couldn't go get it. It was in my board. But it came in for game 3. But
Did you add the Auramancer in game 2? Or...
I left it in. But
I don't even see the orb. Oh, there it is.
I thought when you had 2 mana left up, I thought your mind. I went with it like you're mind gaming me. You don't have anything, so it's obvious that you would otherwise perhaps play a dork, but perhaps you don't want to play into anything. So it's like, I'll take the risk, do not go get the Auramancer. But it also like those tiny decisions to not play too safe against another super fast combo deck. Basically, that else is like it's a calculated risk I took.
So you're saying you thought Frank was just a bad player, so you didn't need to think that hard. That's what you're saying. Because like the
No,
Dutch.
but I don't see how he would advance the board in that state by getting like another 1-1, basically. So yeah, it might be worth it to have me like basically time walk, him getting a time walk in that line if I don't set up. So because he will just win next turn basically. That's
Isn't that one of the problems playing against elves? After turn 3, every turn you give them is just such a big risk of just losing.
Yeah. It's
goes exponential.
It's a rough match. I mean,
So-
I feel like Feb elves is not unbeatable. I think it's like a 45-55 matchup basically, but 2 null rods is too much. It's too good.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, like I was looking at your list and I saw, hey, you're not running a Chroma and Phage, which or whatever other things they have going for. So that means like I normally do not board in null rod against Fab, but because I saw like, oh, you have nothing other than the Devourer combo in your deck, I think null rod is a safe line to say, okay, I'm just gonna board in my null rods and try to keep you honest. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when Feb is honest, it plays dorks.
Yeah, then my deck is way better.
Yeah, and putting
Horrendous.
more win conditions in the deck also makes your Forward Shapeshifters a lot better, because you can just it gives you a
Naturally.
more broader perspective on the win. But it's just super difficult deck, and we saw you making those decisions and thinking about them, and we both also didn't know what you were going to do, so it was very, very hard getting out of those situations. So I think you overall did a good job. I mean, you made some mistakes, as you mentioned, but still, it's really an accomplishment.
And it was a really cool match.
Yes, it was very beautiful to see.
It was funny, like the first game when I went survival for Hypnox, it was because I had no other creatures in hand. But then I drew the Shapeshifter, and it's always weird when you pitch your Palinchron to set up. Like, you can't get Squee, because then you pitch Squee, and you can't do the combo turn that turn.
And you top deck the Shapeshifter, right?
Yeah, so then it's like,
you top
okay,
decked it,
I'll just win. Yeah.
That was very nice. I was discussing this with Gordon, and it was like, "Oh, he's taking the Hypnox, so that means he doesn't have a creature." And then suddenly, poof, you went off.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, wow,
you got
this
that
is super
right,
good."
Celine.
But,
that was at least one. But
I want to now we know how this match ended up, but what's your take? Because you, of course, had this to go of what was banned, and you decided the bans and so on. Did you put each other on the correct decks?
Yeah, 100%.
I actually thought Frank was going to play pink, but when I saw he played pink against Manos, I was pretty sure he's going to play survival, because he won't play pink twice. Survival, I mean elves.
So you actually thought you were going to be playing Feb against Pink Prism before today?
Yeah. I mean, I can't play Prison Oath against Pink Prism. Like, that matchup must be so terrible. So I've not played it, but I'd imagine it's quite terrible.
I can see that.
But Prison is okay. Well, let's not go into that. No, but when you realized this is the matchup, then Anton, what's your take on it? 50-50, 60-40, 90-10? Who is favored?
Well, on the play matters really much. So when I won first game, I thought like, I might actually be able to take this, unless he has like all the naturalizers and null rods in the world. And mulligan to 5 the last, but I fucked up. I shouldn't have gotten the engineer plague. I was respecting the Nantuko Vigilante too much in my mind. So just playing around that for one turn, I think would have sufficed. So yeah, bad Fab player here, but it is what it is.
Don't beat yourself up over
No.
it. The
Yeah,
deck
but
is hard.
that's what you do when you play this deck. Like when you win, it's like,
Yes.
I'm pretty.
Yes, you do.
Pretty confident guy.
I was just gonna ask you, Celine, is that what you do? But
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
need to
and
ask.
the fun part is, which Anton is demonstrating also right now, you get punished for your mistakes like instantly. And so it also gives you a very good learning curve, because you notice your mistakes and you learn from them like on the spot. I have had
that's the best.
tournaments in which I just every match, every round was like, wow, I'm learning new stuff. I made a mistake there, and just learning on the spot in the same tournament. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I love the deck, but I've learned now that I played this deck some without the second combo. I want like a Chroma Phage back. I really do. 'Cause it makes some games just having like it makes it so much easier, actually, and more forgetting. For giving.
Forgiving.
Until for this tournament, like it was open deck list. I can see an argument that because this is open deck list, that you certainly want a second combo in there, because I could just see your deck list and I could say like, hey, Null Rod is really good in this spot, and if the deck list was not known, I would have boarded very differently.
Yeah.
So time goes by. I'm not gonna sing that very good song, but so I don't want to be here way too long. So have you anything more to add to the match? Otherwise, I want to talk just a bit about next week before we sign off for today.
I'm very happy I got to at least win once against Frank, one game, because I mean he's Frank. God damn it.
You're overselling me.
No, but I had fun. I've learned stuff, so I'm happy. It was a good game, Frank, and congrats.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the games. I think tonight, like I played two fantastic matches where the outcome could have gone in both matches either way. So.
But you are in the semifinals, pretty sure of that. That could not be. And Anton is kicked out. No.
That we don't know, actually.
No, that was a joke.
But probably. I'm 2-2, so...
No, 2-2 should not be...
Yeah, Manos might go 3-1.
Yeah. No, Phil can win against Manos if Phil wins... oh, no, wait.
He's 2-2, because he's 1-2 now.
What?
Yeah, we have seen in Epic there can be a lot of draws.
Yeah, so we have a... No, he's 3-1, right?
No, he's 2-1. He has his last game against Phil. So he's 2-1.
Oh, yeah.
So if Manos loses against Phil, we have 3 2-2s, and then it will go to tiebreak. Because Ante is out, he's 1-3, and you're in on 3-1. So,
exactly.
Exactly. So
anything can happen.
That is true.
Exciting.
So before we turn this deck picture away, have you all, by the way, thought about that on Earth, when you look at it in a small card like this, always just looks like a big fuck you finger?
Sorry, well, what are you talking about?
Have you not seen on Earth?
On Earth? Oh, yeah.
When it's that small,
Yes.
it really looks like
Yes.
a big
You are right.
finger. Yep.
Yeah,
That was just my last comment about this deck.
I will take this with me. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And with that, Epic Week 6. That is next week. That is the second to last ordinary stream. That is of the after we go to the playoffs, and we will going to see Gianmarco, Slay J, Nils, and Alberto playing. So this is the lineup for next week. Any specific match you're looking forward to see?
Oath Chantress versus Form of the Anye. That might be cool.
Oh my god, that would be.
Yeah, that's.
We still haven't seen Enchantress
No.
at all.
And Reanimate, I know Jens is very, very stoked to play that. So
Yeah.
No, it's not banned.
Crotalk against Crotalk. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So some
Alberto
really
hasn't
cool
got-
matches.
Yeah, Alberto hasn't got to play Sly yet. It has always been banned, so I might put him on Sly. But then Niels has the Stifle Knot, and that's not great. So yeah, interesting ones.
I've.
Yeah, some really cool matches next week, that is. And after next week, there's one more week where we have just 2 matches. It will be a short stream to pick up and fix every single single player, get everyone ready to see who actually advances. Maybe we need to check some tiebreakers. If things happen as we just discussed. And that is February 23rd. That is the last one. And because I screwed up.
yeah, you're gonna tell him now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah, great. Yeah, this is on boardroom.
It's actually not on Gordon, it's on Kung Marcus. For those in chat who know who Kung Marcus is. But it's actually
It's
on
a fellow
me.
Swede. Yeah.
So, plan was to have semifinals and finals March 5th. And do like a Saturday stream with all the playoffs and like, yeah, this is gonna be cool. Yeah, that may not happen because I'm probably going to a small city called Arvika in Sweden to play some Magic. So some old school, and also actually stream that tournament.
Can we come, Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon, because of that, I can play an old school tournament in Utrecht.
Perfect.
See it.
Perfect.
All lined up perfectly.
The stars aligns. But no, so for chat, it will still be a stream, but an old school stream. Maybe not with great commentary and so on, because I'm going to set up the stream, let the players commentate themselves, so I can play and stream this tournament. Because like it's the first IRL old school tournament in 2 years, and yeah, I'm not gonna miss it. That's just the thing. Like, sorry, Epic is
The best.
it's epic,
More epic.
but
How many
I
good
can't miss
matches
this. I just can't. So we are going to move the semifinals and finals, and actually just continue Wednesdays. So instead of doing now 2 more Wednesdays before playoffs, we will just do 4 Wednesdays in a row, and continue, and then do 1 with semifinals and then 1 with a big finals, like best of 5 matches playing every deck or something like that, like 15 games level.
That won't happen on a
Prison
Wednesday,
against prison.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah, that won't happen.
So we've actually made a pink prison deck that we will send to the players so they can play pink prison mirrors for the finals.
Oh, that will be very sweet.
Slee, you want to commentate?
I will clear my schedule, Gordon, for Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so chat, there will be an old school stream that also means 4 more Wednesdays of Epic instead of only 2 Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's kind of good as well.
Yeah, people like habits, and Wednesday night is Epic night now. So
Exactly.
Yeah, it's an epic night.
So yeah, there you have it. It's all on Kung Marcus, not me. But Frank is just glad to go to Utrecht.
Yeah, I saw in chat, by the way, it's DeadboltCon. and if you go to Raging Bull series, then you can find it. I saw someone ask.
Oh, it's the Raging
yeah.
crew.
Yeah.
Nice.
gonna-
Yeah.
Text you about this, Frank, because I actually live in Utrecht, so I might actually come by.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I really like Utrecht, so I might come. No, wait, no.
Oh,
Can't come by. Another time,
Damn
though.
it.
Need to go down and play. Now there is a chat link for everyone for the event. Krolai, maybe it's pronounced. Put it there.
our buddy, yeah, he's
Our buddy,
chipping in. That's
Wander.
very good.
Yeah, can you try to
Our-
pronounce his chat name then?
Oh, it's Krulai.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful language, Dutch.
It is a language, that is true.
Yeah, we use R's and G's in the right way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
as Garfield intended.
Exactly. And with that, I think it's time to hang up the phone of this stream.
And go to bed, Gordon. Go to bed.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm gonna do now. And Anton, thanks for fixing things behind scene and playing today. Frank, god damn, you're unbeatable. And Celine, you were the perfect commentator for this, actually taking the serious level just up one notch, helping me get through this, and Nils before that. Guys, amazing. Just a big thanks. And chat, of course.
Yaki.
Thank you to you,
Yeah.
Gordon.
Yes, thanks Gordon for
Yeah, there was
streaming.
the reason you were chosen for this particular match, Celine.
Yes.
Okay, can I unplug one more thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Like this beer?
Oh, yeah.
You should never buy it.
I want to
And this beer, you should buy it. Anyone who can. With that, good night. And of course, Newcastle. Good night, everyone.
Thanks Gordon.